Hello everyone. Recently I put out a hasty recording to let everyone know to slow down. There were some discussions going on that I did not agree with. I explained my reasons in those. Now I'm comfortable actually talking about what to do for your loadout. So I will get into that after I talk about bombers. Recently I had some people counter arguing or trying to counter argue with some reasons for having bombers. One of them was that the rotary cannon or whatever it is getting tons of kills right now. I think that's the most ridiculous one out of the stuff I've seen because uh, everybody's new right now. When people start getting smart, then the bombers are going to have too hard of a time using that rotary cannon. All you have to do against a bomber is either outmaneuver it or just hit the brakes really hard and hope it overshoots. But that's really all I can say on the bomber subject. I'm still trying to determine if they are dead weight. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about fighters in general. So for the TIE fighter, I don't really see a point in changing much. I would only change the ordnance and maybe the engine. I was looking at the twin ion jet engine as a possible emergency scenario type of thing, but I'm not 100% on that quite yet. So yeah, for both the TIE Fighter and X-Wing, I would say ensure that you have concussion missiles for um, anti-fire duties and either a proton torpedo or ion torpedo for fleet battles. I'm still unsure which is better of the two, ion or proton. I guess ion makes it easier for your allies to do damage because of it lowering the shields, but I'm not entirely sure yet as to which way is best. Oh, for both fighters, though, I would say only use your standard laser cannon or the burst laser cannons. That's as far as I would personally go with it. Okay, with that out of the way, X-Wing is really the only one out of the fighters that I have loadout plans for. That's just because the X-Wing has more customization than the TIE Fighter, also due to the fact that the X-Wing is a little bit behind on stats in comparison to the TIE Fighter. So I have the Dogfighter loadout planned, which is Slipstream hull, Chempat Fortified Deflector, and Quadrex Propulsion engine. Slipstream hull is going to lower your total HP, well, I should say hull, by 30%. Chempat Fortified Deflector is going to give you back some total HP and shields, so it's trying to make up for the loss in Slipstream hull. Then finally, you have Quadratic Propulsion engine. This particular loadout is intended to give you as much maneuverability and acceleration as possible. That way you can get turned around time to deal with enemies. Now, if you're not doing dogfights and it's a fleet battle, I would say drop the dogfighter loadout in favor of something else, either by going standard or maybe using a Krupp's conversion shield. That's about the only thing that I'm really seeing. I am looking at an experimental build, but I'm not ready to, say it's good or not. That experimental build is going to be with the Chempat Deflector hull and Surplex Nimble Deflector. This is intended to give as much shield regen as possible. But unfortunately, it's lowering the hull and not really getting anything back, so that's why I'm not really sure if it's good yet. But yeah, so if this doesn't work out, I would say for your second loadout, if you're going against capital ships, you want all the HP you can get, so as I said, Krupp's Conversion Shield. Okay, moving on to Interceptors. With both Interceptors, I would say keep the cluster missile. The biggest problem for Interceptors is bombers. It takes a lot of ammunition to take them down. You do not want to be wasting too much time on bombers because the longer you take to kill a bomber, the more that your enemy has the chance to try and counter you. So yeah, I'd say carry cluster missiles just to make sure that you can get rid of them very quickly. For either one, the A-Wing or the TIE Interceptor, I would say that you can create 2 loadouts, one with the thrust engine and one without. The thrust engine would be used on maps where you're not worried about collision, so debris fields and asteroids and things of that nature. The whole idea behind the thrust engine is to just get as high as a max speed as you can so that you can hit and run. Interceptors have very low HP, so you don't want to stick around as much if you can help it. That's why I was looking at the thrust engine build, because with the A-Wing you hit 208 top speed, with the TIE Interceptor you hit 221, I'm pretty sure. That's more speed than any of the others can achieve without, even with modifications. Even if you put the same thing on an X-Wing, it's just not going to get anywhere close. So, yeah, it's just really like what your personal preference is and what the mission mode is at the end of the day. But there you go. That's all of the things that I can really say about these loadouts. Thanks for listening.